everybody. Fourth, and how you doing here? Today I want to talk about how the Denver Broncos are probably parting ways with Russell Wilson based on the information we received today. Let's break it down, shall we? Today, the Denver Broncos announced that Russell Wilson will be benched for the rest of the season in favor of starting Garrett Stidham. Now, Garrett Stidham is not Russell Wilson. However, Russell Wilson's contract states that if he fails a physical by March of 2024, he's owed an additional guarantee of $37 million. The Denver Broncos find themselves in the middle of a playoff chase and are choosing money over wins and production. Russell Wilson's thrown for over 3,000 yards this year. He has 26 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, and a QB rating of 98. Yet Sean Payton states that they're trying to spark the offense. What kind of bullshit is that? They ain't trying to spark anything. The fact of the matter is that if they designate him as a post-June 1st trade, then they only have $18 million worth of dead money on their books. Right now, the Denver Broncos are about to find themselves in salary cap hell. They have a whopping $792,000 cap space available for 2023, and they are $18 million over the salary cap heading into 2024. Russell Wilson's not going to be the only casualty. They will find someone to trade him. They will trade him for a bag of peanuts as long as they can get his contract off the books. It saves them $17 million for him not to be on the books. If he was to get injured, then they would have even more money incurred against the cap, and they would not be able to execute any type of trade. With that said, there's no way possible they will let him play another down this year, even if they make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, Jarrett Stidham is still going to be the quarterback because they cannot afford for this man to get hurt. With that said, I don't understand how the league can possibly not step in and ask them what in the world they're doing if you're trying to put a quality product on the field. You know, they have no problem charging full price for their tickets. They don't want their games blacked out, so on and so forth. Yet they're going to bench him because Jarrett Stidham's going to jumpstart their offense. And hey, listen, I could be completely wrong. The kid could go out and he could throw for 350 yards this weekend, 4 touchdowns, Denver wins. They could have a deep playoff run. I don't see it happening, but stranger things have happened. That said, this is strictly a financial move. I don't care what Payton says. It's a financial move. What it really is a really crappy late Christmas present for Denver Bronco fans. That's what it really comes down to. And it has nothing to do with them losing to New England this past weekend. Although it was nice to see Payton lose. And Belichick, even though he's probably gone in New England, dump himself out of the top 3 draft pick. But that's a story for another day. That said, looking over their roster, I could see them cutting Courtland Sutton, as if they designate him as a post-June 1st cut, it saves them $13 million on the books. They could also move on from Justin Simmons as a post-June cut, would also save them another $14 million on the books. Garrett Bowles, even though he hasn't played terribly, would save them $16 million if they let him go. They could move on from Tim Patrick. They could move on from DJ Jones. There's going to be a lot of shuffling going on, because between those 5 guys, that's $63 million roughly. That's not including moving on from Russell. So that would give them $80 million worth of salary cap space and some flexibility, because they're looking for financial flexibility. They need to rebuild the roster, is what they need to do. The irony here is that Sean Payton blamed Nathaniel Hackett for Denver doing so poorly. And while they have a better record this year, they're on the cusp of having to rip the whole thing down and start all over again anyway. I mean, imagine giving up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and then signing this man to a $245 million contract extension just to call it quits after 2 years. Somebody fucked up royally, huh? Now, with that said, again, this is all potentially happening, possibly happening. Not confirmed, just a hypothetical. Writing on the wall seems to be factual, but time will tell. However, it's going to have to be a trade. There's no way possible that they can cut this man. If they cut him as a post-June 1st cut, it's a $35 million dead money cap hit. They're going to have to find a trade partner. If they find a trade partner and they trade him as a post-June 1st trade, then it's only an $18 million cap hit. It's kind of similar to what the Jets had to do last year with Rodgers and wait for Green Bay to be in that right spot where they can actually make the deal. I see something similar happening here. There's no way they can keep the man. I mean, I guess they could potentially keep the man, but if they were keeping the man, they wouldn't be benching him in the middle of a playoff run. It's shaping up to be one hell of an offseason. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens and giving my thoughts on what's going on each day that something breaks. That said, until next time, thanks for listening. Have a good one.